Hello friends, good day to all. Today we are going to learn about understanding the terminologies like menarche, menopause and what is meant by the normal reproductive phase and its indicators and reproductive period in females, and at last we'll be dealing with disorders of menstrual bleeding, that is the menstruation. So, before going to the video, I would like to mention one important thing that here all the related videos to this topic I have put in the I button that is at the top right corner of the screen. You can click that and watch those videos classes as well. So let us proceed. My dear friends, in this slide, we are going to learn what is meant by menarche, menopause, and normal reproductive phase and reproductive period, and what is the confusion between among these words and the terminologies as questioned by students usually. My dear friends, to get into the concept, the reproductive period we have already discussed in our period class. Click the I button at the top right corner, you will get that. My dear friends, the reproductive period is very important to understand because during this reproductive period, initial starting of the reproductive period, only the process of menstrual cycle is taking place, and so the resuming of the oogenesis as well. And that is the reason we have to learn this reproductive period. And in our previous with our previous classes knowledge, we know one thing that it begins it begins at the age of puberty, and that is usually 10 to 14 years, or some say 12 to 14 years, okay, as as said by different authors of textbooks. And the ending till in females it ends at the 45 to 50 years of age, and this is a concept of the reproductive phase. And now from here we can learn something important and something new, that is, my dear friends, this beginning of the puberty is named as the menarche. The menarche means it is the first occurrence of menstruation bleeding. So first occurrence of menstrual bleeding is indicated by word called menarche. They have given this term. And this ending of this normal reproductive phase, that is natural stoppage of menstrual cycle, is known as menopause. Okay, here we got the two terms very easily. Menarche is the first occurrence of menstrual bleeding, and the menopause indicates the natural cessation or the stop of the menstrual cycle, and it marks the end of fertility. So we have learned all these words: menopause, menarche, and the reproductive period. Now let us learn what is the indicator of normal reproductive phase. We have learned this previously as well, because we know that only the menstrual bleeding is the thing of menstrual cycle that is coming out of body, and only by this menstrual bleeding we indicate that menstrual cycle is occurring normally in that woman, the female. And that is the reason why we the indicator of the normal reproductive phase means the normal reproductive cycles are occurring in that female, and that phase is indicated by the menstrual bleeding. And menstrual bleeding means menstrual phase of the menstrual cycle. And so we have learned all these terms very easily, and we cannot forget if we learn in this manner. Okay, so don't by heart, don't try to memorize the things instead of learning the concepts. Okay, so you have to learn concepts instead of memorizing those things. Okay, so at last we have come to the disorders of menstruation. My dear friends, one we have already learned, that is the Amenorrhea. What does it mean? It is the painful menstrual bleeding. The reason behind is also you have to know increased prostaglandin levels. Okay, that is the reason. Next disorder is amenorrhea. What does it mean? Amenorrhea. Amenorrhea means absence. A indicate absence of menstrual bleeding. And another is oligomenorrhea. Oligomenorrhea and polymenorrhea. These are very usually confused by students. There is no confusion here. You can see that oligomenorrhea and amenorrhea. Oligomenorrhea means the frequency is decreased, and polymenorrhea means frequency is increased, means the frequency of menstrual bleeding has decreased in the oligomenorrhea, and it takes place infrequently, and the duration has increased, and here the duration is decreased, means it takes 35 days and it is taking less than 21 days. It means within 21 days this cycle is repeating, and so the frequency has increased. Another is what is meant by menorrhagia. Menorrhagia means excessive menstrual bleeding. It is excessive menstrual bleeding. Okay, and at last there are two related to the ovulation. That is the subtype in the disorders of menstruation. That is anovulation. N means here A indicate absence of ovulation. As we have learned that ovulation is a very important process that is taking place in the menstrual cycle. Please go and watch, click the I button and go and watch those related videos. And another is oligo ovulation. That is irregular. Oligo means irregular or decreased frequency of ovulation. So with this we have learned all those important points conceptually. Thank you all. Keep supporting. Have a nice day. Until then, goodbye.